We have another coaching casualty in the NHL. The New Jersey Devils have parted ways with head coach Lindy Ruff. We'll discuss who's taking over, what it means for the team, and why they came to this decision coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have some pretty significant breaking news here in the past hour in the NHL. Depending on the timing of processing everything, it might be a couple of hours before this hits YouTube. As you can see, I'm currently away on vacation, and the Wi-Fi here is a little on the slow side. So might be a little bit before it gets to YouTube. But at the end of the day here, the Devils have parted ways with head coach Lindy Ruff. Obviously, their last few games here has gotten progressively worse. And the Devils, in my opinion, long overdue for some change. But certainly Lindy Ruff has been there for 4 years. Travis Green, who's been with the coach already as an assistant or associate coach, is taking over on an interim basis for the rest of the year. So obviously he's got lots of head coaching experience previously with the Vancouver Canucks. So Green will be trying to see what he can do here to right the ship. Obviously, like I said, Ruff was there parts of 4 years. This year they have a record of 30, 27, and 4 for 64 points. Not good enough after a team that really surged last year, finished much higher in the standings, got into the playoffs, won a round. He signed an extension last year, was a finalist for the Jack Adams. But remember the beginning of the year was the Fire Lindy chance. We're in the first few games of the season. The fan base was looking for a change, and then they changed their tune to Sorry Lindy, and then it became Fire Lindy again recently, and now it's Thank You Lindy, you're gone, and thanks for what you've done. But at the end of the day, I do think they need a change here, but I'm not completely putting all this blame on Ruff. At the end of the day, I do think their 5-on-5 play has not been nearly good enough, which is on him. A lot of it falls, I think, under preparation. To a degree, this is roster construction. And also, I think there's been some baffling lineup decisions on his part. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not his fault that Dougie Hamilton, the team's top defenseman, has been out for a big chunk of the season. Obviously, that's huge. They made other personnel changes to the decor in the offseason, parting ways with Severson and Graves. They had to go a much younger D this year. It's been overwhelming. Guys like Nemec and Hughes, they're going to be phenomenal defensemen down the road, but I think it's too much too soon for them. And the goaltending has been inconsistent and not great at all. You can show a coach that's Jack Adams Award winning. Oftentimes they get a really good goaltender who's right in the top of the mix of the top of the league. You get a coach, no matter how good they are, if they don't get good goaltending, the team's going to suffer, and they often get fired. It's just the way it goes. But Tom Fitzgerald, the GM, needs to make a move. I think they deserved a trade much earlier in the season than this. Not to say that he hasn't been trying, but clearly they haven't really done anything to really shake things up. Goaltending and decor especially being the issue. The Timo Meier experiment, whatever you want to call it, that's been an utter bust in my opinion. Like, he is a great player, had a great junior career, was great in San Jose, but it's fair to say he came over from the Sharks to the Devils, signed a good extension afterwards, and it just hasn't worked. He's not the 35 to 40 goal guy that they were expecting. Just hasn't been working. Maybe that's something the new coach will have to try to see if he can get back on track. But Ruff leaves the team with a record of 128, 125, and 28, so just a little over 500. Clearly the first couple seasons were, I guess somewhat considered rebuilding or, coming up through the ranks, types of years, building years. Last year was a major breakthrough, but I think they caught a lot of people by surprise and were looked upon as being ahead of schedule. And then this year, a lot of people thought they'd take a big step forward, but it's not unusual to have a step back before you can make that leap forward. So I don't know, we'll see. I mean, like I said, 5-on-5 play hasn't been good enough. Goaltending's been inconsistent. The defense needs work, but that's not all on him by any means. But we'll see what Travis Green can do. Obviously at this point, I think the hope here is that get a new voice, get a new coach there taking over in Green. Fitzgerald will have a chance to see if he's the right choice longer term or not, and maybe they can make a surge at the end to get in. I think it's too little too late. I think this is a move we should have seen earlier, and I think a trade should have been made, at least one, to try to improve this roster before this, whether it be getting a goaltender or some help on the blue line or something. But Fitzgerald's been quiet all year after getting an extension himself. So let me know your thoughts on this news down in the comments. We'll discuss further. Is this the right move? Is it going to help the Devils? Give me your feedback in the comments. We'll discuss further. If you're new to this channel, of course, make sure you subscribe and stick around. And we'll keep you up to date with all the news around all 32 NHL teams. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.